Coming up on Mountain News this morning, some state attorney generals are banding together to oppose a HIPAA rule change to protect out-of-state abortions. And Cave Run Lake is being plagued by thieves breaking into locked cars.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News This Morning.
Good morning, I'm Olivia Calfee. We are coming up on 5 a.m. on July 27th. Now let's check in with Chief Forecaster Brandon Robinson for a look at your forecast this morning. Brandon, it's going to keep getting hotter.
It is. First alert weather day starts actually right now. I'm actually getting ready to change some stuff over here in just a minute. But again, dangerous heat building in the next couple of days. This morning had a few little showers overnight. Let's talk about that first. Not too much to write home about. This kind of fading out as we speak this morning, but you might be seeing a little bit of drizzle or a stray shower as you wake up heading out the door this morning. Again, live pinpoint Doppler radar fairly quiet. Just a little bit of heavier rain down into parts of East Tennessee this morning. Mild and muggy. That's the story for the morning. There's the air temperatures. There's the dew points. Anything above 60 is pretty stout out there. It's air you can wear for sure, and it's only going to get worse today. Out the door forecast, we're going to continue to track that heat not only today, but tomorrow and Saturday as well. But today, hot enough. 93 a daytime high. You factor in the heat index, it could feel like close to 100 degrees at times. Olivia?
All right, thank you, Brandon. A proposed HIPAA privacy rule change. It's just one action taken by the Department of Health and Human Services to support President Biden's two executive orders after the overturning of Roe v. Wade. But some Republican attorneys general are opposing this proposal, including Kentucky's. Julia Sandor has more on the letter.
The Department of Health and Human Services took actions to support President Biden's two executive orders that came after the overturning of Roe v. Wade. They proposed a HIPAA privacy rule change, which in part would protect the identity of women who receive an abortion from legal ramifications in states where the practice is illegal. In a letter signed by 19 Republican state attorneys general, including AG Daniel Cameron, they're asking the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services to halt a proposed HIPAA privacy rule change. In the letter, it says, quote, "The proposed rule would upset that careful decades-old balance. The proposed rule defies the governing statute, would unlawfully interfere with states' authority to enforce their laws, and does not serve any legitimate need. Relying as it does on a false view of state regulation of abortion, the proposed rule is a solution in search of a problem." The Office of the Kentucky Attorney General also sent a statement to WKYT saying, as a result, the letter concerning HIPAA and the proposed revision to the privacy rule was about protecting the ability of Kentucky officials to enforce state laws. The letter was not about pursuing personal health care records of Kentuckians. Angela Cooper with the ACLU of Kentucky says she believes this is a step to limiting access to reproductive health care.
When it comes to civil rights, when it comes to protecting reproductive care, when it comes to protecting LGBTQ rights, it is a constant battle. It is a constant struggle. It very often feels like one step forward and 5 steps back.
In Lexington, Julia Sandor, WKYT.
The Department of Health and Human Services says the current privacy rule remains in effect. They say that existing rule permits but does not require certain disclosures to law enforcement and others subject to specific conditions. With the November election a little more than 100 days away, many candidates are ramping up their campaigning throughout the state. Secretary of State Michael Adams made a stop in Hazard yesterday to discuss the upcoming election. Adams is on the ballot for re-election against Democratic candidate Charles Wheatley. Adams says he is proud of making it easier to vote. However, there is still a problem with the lack of qualified poll workers.
I really felt like now more than ever we need highly qualified, objective, competent people running our elections. They're too important to leave to amateurs.
Adams says the issue is much larger than the election and is more of a social issue of people not wanting to get involved within their community, but says his office is working hard to address those concerns. Media company Apple Shop hosted the premiere of their newest film, All Is Not Lost, yesterday. The film tells the story of the July 2022 flood and how communities are beginning to heal. Officials with Apple Shop say they hoped the event yesterday was a time the community could find their strength together.
We opened it up to the community. We want to be able to feed and fellowship with as many people as possible. I've sent it to churches. I have sent it to community groups. The invitation posted on Facebook.
The film will be free to watch on the Apple Shop YouTube page starting July 28th. Camp Falcon has campers from Floyd County taking part in their community. The third annual camp is a partnership between the David School and Floyd County Sheriff John Hunt. The event is working with other community partners like the library, the East Kentucky Science Center, and the Mountain Arts Center to give back to area kids.
I'm big on community. I'm big on kids here. I like giving things for them to do. We do the Camp Falcon every year. We do the Fall Festival for them every year. We try to provide as much for them to do as possible and introduce them to our school and what we're about.
This year is the camp's largest turnout. The Falcon festivities continue today. If you were heading to Cave Lake Run, which is not far from the Moorhead area, police have a warning for you. Be on the lookout for thieves. Police say more than a dozen locked vehicles have been broken into at boat ramp parking lots. Rowan County Sheriff Matt Sparks says it has been going on since the beginning of summer, saying crooks can simply walk up and look in.
Glances in right in his immediate view. If you take that shot, right in that immediate view is a tablet or iPad there. Easy money.
The sheriff says thieves have smashed and grabbed from vehicles at Works Run and Alfrey boat ramps in Rowan County, Stony Cove in Bath County, and other places in Menifee and Morgan counties that surround the lake. Thanks for getting your day started with us here on Mountain News this morning. And when we return, Senator Mitch McConnell paused during the middle of a briefing yesterday, which left some to worry about his health.
Mercury is rising and we could push the 100-degree mark by Friday. I'll have the details literally hot off the press in about 3 minutes.